What's up, my Yuki Bros? We need to have a talk. I keep trying to make this video in one take, but I've been doing a lot of stopping and starting, and so I'm not going to do a lot of jump cuts in this video. I'm going to try and do it in just like one more take, just this one take. I don't have time, really, to actually do any nice editing with this video. I'm on campus right now because I have a lot of homework to do because it's dead week here at Western, and so I just want to go through this video. I want to have this talk with you all, and I want to do it now, which is why I am taking this time as opposed to someday when I have more free time, because it is currently in the spotlight, or at least it's going to be for the next few days, because of Azneyes White Dragon's most recent video. Is it even his most recent video? I don't even know. His Smash or Pass video, and I am going to link it in the description. I usually don't like giving advertisement to people who do this kind of thing, or I especially don't like giving free advertisement to Azneyes, but the thing is, like, I know I'm a small-time YouTuber. I've made peace with that, and the number of views that I could get him would just be like a negligible fraction of his viewership overall and his ad revenue. So yeah, I'm going to link it in the comment section below. And basically the issue that I want to talk about surrounding this video is the fact that there is pretty rampant misogyny in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Just sexism frickin' everywhere. And I'm probably actually I would say that I was about to become the SJW of YouTube, but I believe SEMO has already taken that distinction. But I do know I am aware of the fact that I am probably going to get a lot of comments on this video that are talking about how is the word SJW, is SJW even actually shorter to say than social justice warrior out loud? I'm not even going to bother thinking about that. But I'm going to get a lot of comments calling me an SJW, calling me a triggered feminist. I just, like, I don't care. I mean, I do care. In that it tells me a lot of nasty things about a community that I have been a part of, that I've worked on for like the last 15 years. I mean, I haven't been working on it for 15 years, but I have been in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community for most of my life. And I've been a YouTuber for all of my adult life, and for the better part of my life over the age of like 14. And I have done it because of the community, and so the fact that my community is part assholes and part people who tolerate assholes on this particular subject is really disheartening to me. But it doesn't actually, the comments themselves don't hurt me. I know what my ideology is. I know where I stand on issues, and people calling me these things really does not make a difference to me. A lot of people are going to say I'm just doing this for attention. I've made peace once again with the fact that I am a very small YouTuber, and I'm just kind of a niche audience, and I'm probably going to hang around the 5,000 subscriber zone the rest of my life, and I'm okay with that, because once again, I'm here for the community, and so that's why it really sucks for me that this community has this massive issue. I mean, aside from the fact that it's like a problem for actual real people who are actually having real harassment and real violence threatened against them and things like that. For me personally, the issue that I have with this is that I love the community, and it's got this major problem with it that I think that we could do better on. In fact, I know that we can do better on. And so I'm going to focus in a little bit. I'm going to stop rambling, and I'm going to get like really straight to the point. And I'm going to start with Azneyes' video and why it was such a big problem. Which is first of all, the entire point is that it objectifies women. That was the whole point of the video. That's the whole point of Smash or Pass videos. I mean, oftentimes they're not just about women. Sometimes they're about dudes. Sometimes they're about, like, inanimate objects. But the whole point is objectification. And, like, I'm all for equal opportunities, like enjoying people's attractiveness, I guess. And he did say that he like wants to do this with dudes, or is willing to do this with dudes as well. But I'll get to the reason why that's still kind of an issue in a second. But the point is, the entire video is just there to objectify women and to talk about their worth in terms of their bodies, and even worse, this is my biggest issue with this particular video, is he gave forum to really horrendous comments. He put up, you know, his chat on the side where dudes were saying phenomenally sexist things about women, and just giving a platform for these guys, these people who were being just disgusting to the women that he was talking about. He was giving them a forum. He was giving them a microphone with which to like get their name out into the community and get their dumbass comments into the community. That was like my biggest problem with the video, and he was highlighting a lot of them. You know, he would read out a lot of them and he'd like make comments about, oh, you're nasty, or oh, you're a tryhard, but he'd be laughing about them. He didn't like, you know, point out the fact that these people were talking, literally in a couple of the comments, talking about doing violence to the women that he was talking about. And yeah, a lot of them are trolls. Sure, there are always a lot of trolls, but the fact that he was giving this platform to people who talk like that, that was my biggest issue. Also, the fact that, just to let you know, Azneyes and the rest of the community, as a person with trans friends, the word tranny, super not okay. And the way that you talked about potentially trans people was pretty damn gross. And my main point of talking about him in particular in this video in particular, aside from the timing aspect, is the fact that like it's always before been like trolls in the community and people who are generally not respected. I mean, among YouTubers, Azneyes isn't respected, but he is viewed, and people look up to him a lot of the time, and people watch him. And the fact is, so the fact that somebody as influential as he is doing this, that is the reason why I am particularly interested in this video. Now, the reason why I was talking about the fact that he said that he was willing to do it with dudes, and like the fact that that's still an issue, and the fact that even though he kept saying, I don't want to get anybody upset, and like, this is just like my preference, I'm not making any judgments, even though, you know, he totally was, the reason why it doesn't matter if he says that is because of this power dynamic that we have in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is that when we talk about women and men in this community in terms of physical appearance, attractiveness, sex-related things, with men it is generally understood that it is done for funnies. It is generally done in jest. People are usually humorous about it and are not being serious. And even when we say that we're doing that with women, the truth is that our community doesn't stick to the just kind of for funnies, for funs, amusement bit of it. Our community runs with that. The people run with it, and they do take that as impetus to harass the women that you're talking about, to make these awful comments about women that you're talking about. And some of them, yeah, they're kind of funny. Some of them are not so judgmental. Some of them are not that big of an issue, but a lot of them are. So the fact of the matter is, even if you say that you're willing to do it equal opportunity with men and women in this community, women do not have equal opportunity within this community. They do face this issue of massive amounts of harassment. And just generally not being respected within the community. And that's an issue with basically every nerd community. There's this weird, and it's a fairly documented phenomenon in the world of psychology, that communities like nerdy communities, counterculture communities, tend to have this special kind of sexism where the dudes in the community kind of understand that they are not considered like alpha dudes within the society, and so they go into this community to just be like dudes that are just interested in this thing and aren't here to like, you know, and like aren't going to tell each other, oh man, you play Yu-Gi-Oh!, you're such a pussy. And so when they get in there, they feel like in this space, they have something to prove. They have to like prove their masculinity within this space, which is why you get this weird type of like dominance culture where we talk about like raping each other in a game, and where we talk about like be dominating and being like, and like, it's just, the fact that we have this in this community is because dudes within this community as a whole, not all of them of course, seem to have this thing that they want to prove, and so they seem to feel weirdly threatened by women having respect in the community, and the result is that you get this misogynistic, sexist cesspool that we have in the game as it stands. And this is not like I said, this is a documented phenomenon. This is definitely not just a thing in Yu-Gi-Oh that I'm just speculating about. This is something that we know happens in this kind of community, and that is a huge issue. And it's in part an issue, like, it's a personal thing for me too, because I know a lot of women who are interested in the game, and I cannot tell them. I have to tell them, like, that I can't guarantee that you're not just going to find a massive sexist sausage fest, because that's what the game is as it stands. And the problem, besides the fact that we have this issue, is the fact that we ignore this issue. The people who do have power within the community, who aren't the rampant assholes, don't do anything about it. They don't call out dudes being dicks to women. There are some of them, and I know that a lot of them are going to be making videos in responses to Azneyes' video, we just do not give it the attention that it really needs in order to improve the community in the way that we need to improve it, because I want the community to expand as much as possible. I want women to be interested in this community because I want more people playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And more people to talk to and more people to engage with. And I know, yeah, I want women's perspectives as well. You know, it would just be nice to have people who aren't dudes in the game, and this is a little bit of where it's something that I'm going to talk about in a bit comes in, which is the fact that, like, people are going to assume that the reason why I want to do this is because I'm looking for women to be interested in me, to want to bang, but, like, I mean, I'll get to that in a bit. So the fact of the matter is, we don't talk about this in the community, and that's the biggest issue. The fact that we tolerate this, that we laugh it off as Azneyes just being an idiot, or or like, as he said, he's just doing it because it's what his fans asked for, or just because it's a trend. You know, I don't like Smash or Pass as a trend in general, because of the way that it tends to target women in communities, but that's a totally different issue. Where was I going with this? Just a second, I'm gonna get a drink of water. So I think we as a community actually need to call people out on this kind of thing, and that's what I'm doing with Azneyes today, and what I hope people will do in general, because it's like one thing when Mega Capital G did it with, like, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, like, that was funny because it was cards, it wasn't actual people who actually, you know, suffer consequences from this kind of thing, and it was generally done for funnies, because a lot of them were like actual monsters and things like that, but, like, that wasn't an issue, and so that's what, like, I'm not asking people to call Yu-Gi tubers out on that kind of thing. Just, like, think about, if this has a consequence for somebody in the community, a negative consequence for somebody in the community, do something about it. We do that kind of thing with people who are with players who are considered, you know, dicks to other players in general. We will ostracize those people immediately, but like, when somebody's being just sexist and being an asshole to women, we don't talk about it. And so that's one of the big things I want to come out of this video, is just I want people to actually call out dudes in our community for being assholes, when they're being assholes, when they're being sexist, when they're being, like, gross and imposing on the women in the community and things like that. Actually just bother doing about it and doing something about it. And I realize that there's an issue with this, one of which is that you probably are going to get a lot of pushback. You're probably going to get a lot of harassment yourself. I know that I have in the past, and a lot of people are going to call you a white knight for this. And the reason why I bring up I'm bringing up the term white knight in particular, because it comes from an understandably frustrating mentality, which is that a lot of people in our community want to come out as, like, they want to, like, be... They want to be like heroes for the women in the community, so they'll get, like, brownie points, and, like, maybe, like, I don't know if they have some, like, weird fantasy that they're going to get with these women, but, like, that is a mindset that exists within our community, but we have decided as a community, people respond in this community as if that is the only time that people are willing to defend women in the community, call out people for being sexist assholes, for being a problem within the community. And I know, because this happens to me every time I make a comment in one of these comments threads, like on Jackie's photos on Zodiac, everybody just assumes that I'm being a white knight, and it tells you something about a community, it tells you something about a person, definitely, if they think that the only reason why you would want to, like, not be an asshat to a woman is because you want to have sex with her and you think that you can get brownie points by being a decent human being. I don't know, it's really weird, and the fact that that is a mindset within our community is really, really concerning. The thing is, I'm not looking for anything from the women in this community. I couldn't give half a damn about Jackie Bernal, except for the fact that she's a good player and she's entertaining to listen to and she's a member of a community that I love. That's all that I give a damn about with these people. I want these women to feel like they're not being targeted within our community, that they don't have to push through a just sludge of sexism just to get a halfway decent following, or just to even have their opinions respected within the community, or anything like that. I don't want people to have to deal with that, anybody to have to deal with that. So it's really hard for me to come to, like, a satisfying conclusion on this video and this talk. I wanted to point that out. I know that this is an issue that SEMO has dealt with a lot. And I mean, I'm certain, I know for a fact that this has been an issue for Jackie Bernal, and the reason why I bring her up in particular is just because I have been a part of comment threads having to do with her photos in the past, and so those are just the things that come to mind off the top of my head. But yeah, conclusions, Azneyes, there was a disgusting video to make, even if you say that you, like, it was all in good fun, you don't like want to upset women and you're willing to do it with dudes. And for the rest of the community, just call people out for being sexist asshats. It doesn't take that much work, and it just makes the community and you and the people around you just a better place. And so, I don't know. I'm interested to hear your comments, even though I know that a vast number of them are just going to be heckling and, you know, whatever. Trolls are going to be trolls. But I want to get this discussion rolling. I'm sorry that this is like an 18-minute video, but I wanted to talk about all this. I'm really tired right now. I would be much more fiery and passionate about this if I didn't have another 3.5 hours of econometrics homework to do tonight, and like 5 other final projects to work on. But I was going to make a video today about YCS Atlanta. I will do that on Thursday. But I thought that this was just a much more urgent video to make, and I hope that YouTubers are going to make responses to this. I know that they're probably not going to make responses to me because, once again, I am not a big name within the community, but just talk about it, you know? That's really all I'm trying to get out of this. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to work. You all have a good night. I've said my piece. I got a jet.